So, thank you for having me tonight.
Very welcome.
My name is Marc Brightside, and there was a point in time for a couple of years where this whole poetry thing seemed to be going okay for me. I had a book, I had another book, things were happening. And then 2020 happened. And in the space of 1 month, I lost the property I was living in, my longest relationship, and a close member of my family. And I left that year with a newfound sense of unbearable anxiety that I'd never dealt with previously. So this is my first time performing live in front of an audience in 2.5 years. It's funny, most people cheered when I stopped, so it's nice to hear. I appreciate the line. I thought it might be interesting to do a before and after set of poems. So this first poem that I'm going to read is from my second book, and was written in early 2020 during a time when we were all just trying to make sense of things. So this poem is called Followthrough. I'm headed back to Croydon as it goes. A train, into a train, into a train. On a summer's night, a traveller finishes his sentences for once, says something that'll please the scholars, says something that'll make him clever, has another coffee, forces down the double shots left over from before. My knees crackle on the stairway, pop like gunshots in a Stephen King. A good one, more like Misery. Less rose madder than the one about the phones. My hand is bleeding for some reason. They say when you turn 25, your cells stop resisting like they used to. I'm 26 and decomposing. I'm headed back to Croydon as it goes, a train, into a train, into a train. The industrial communication tower glimmers like a lifeline in the fog. Across the pond, unwanted souls commune beneath the cold fist of the Thames. Sparks fly underneath us, grinding teeth, hot metal on metal action. And the Eastern European girl, her blossom lips, woolen scarf, her 26-year-old outsider's raincoat, she shoots me a cat-like smile. 5 years ago, I could have loved her. I think I love her now. But I'm headed back to Croydon as it goes, a train, into a train, into a train. Mother's Day, 2020, dawn of a new plague. We wake early in the afternoon, eat something masquerading as a dinner, watch Godzilla as the sun descends, and in the garden, where our old dog roamed, I hack into the body of her storm-felled tree, feel it crumble neath my mighty hand. I am the one, the Croydon Highlander, whose blade shall cleave the heavens. I am a good son, doing good son things. Dead trees die forever. We say goodbye. On TV, Godzilla's gone to sleep again, and someone with a voice like melted shame is reading off the death toll. End of days. I'm not worried about her. Really, I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if she outlives me. Thank you. So I mentioned before I'd like there to be a kind of before and after theme with these two poems at the very least. And this next poem was written shortly in the aftermath of when everything went wrong. So this poem is called In June. A little self-assessment leads me here. Purgatory on the phone with Michael, lovely chap. Hint of lavishness, which says the big words don't come naturally to him. He calls it triage. Myself, I'd call it a folding hand, willing submission, a new kind of defeat. Tell me, Mark, have you ever tried to harm yourself? Never had to, Michael. Being born was quite enough. I see. And do you think that there were any issues in your home life that may impact you now? Issues? In my fractured childhood terrarium? No. I lived, not supposed to be enough. We see, well, Mark, we think it may be worth attempting cognitive behavioral therapy, he says. Together, we can help you to identify the source of your anxiety. There'll be exercises and some homework you can do. We'll work with you every step of the way. The image alone drains me. I, the patient, a laboratory animal, test subject for some fresh from middle-class hell med student justifying their degree, mentally comparing me to starving kids of their preferred minority, and Christ, when did I become my grandfather? A black hole soul eclipsed by his abstractions, so unashamedly resentful of the young. My anxiety is an old relative you humor out of obligation, one who spills his wine, bemoans the miracle of modern medicine, and rambles about Palestine at Christmas. Most days, we'd prefer it if he wasn't there. So let's give him a name, a biblical allusion, take him with us on this journey and win all the poetry awards. Perhaps, let's not. Mark, are you still there? Sorry, Michael. Disassociated for a bit. We can do the thing. Good. In which case, we're happy to get started and arrange for your first sessions in June. Of course, Michael. You know me too well. There's a mythology to June, how it signals changes in the hemisphere, sunlight peaking before fading into calm, a death that always comes too soon. The last song played remains on repeat for a while, free-form fusions of a memory unfinished, lost at sea, drowned and left to waste away in June, the month that lingers like a ton of bricks, holds us down until the bubbles stop, as all our yesterdays sing like a smoke trail, present for a passing glance, then gone. I think they're all called Michael. I think it runs in their genetics somehow. So I'm going to end on one last poem, it's quite a short poem. I think we can all agree, even in the pandemic years, one of the most noteworthy events that's happened in modern UK living was the death of Sarah Everard, and how it reflects on deeper issues in our way of living. There are many people far more talented than I have who have written very moving tributes to Sarah Everard, so I have taken it upon myself to write a poem to the other side of the equation. This poem is called Hellfire. You hoped to slip below the veil, where the nameless dead can rest in sanctitude, to ride the storm, to be forgotten, pay the bail. Get your mates out for a pint, clap 'em after dark looks good right now. The boys will have your back tonight, you need never walk alone. England shudders, hatred grows, truncheons crunch against protesting bone. This will be your legacy, my friend. We will not stuff you in a body bag. Your name will be an unmarked grave, a blood-stained flag, an empty wake, a whitewashed, clean-shirt documentary proclaiming that you weren't so terrible. If they write her name in candles, your name will be Hellfire, scorched upon our tongues, synonymous with cancer, that which cannot be ignored but will one day be destroyed. Wayne Couzens, gagging for it. Look at what you're wearing now. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.